Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to Myths and Meaning, a Storyteller's Health. Sorry for the interlude. I missed a couple of full moons there. But I've kind of seemed to have moved to the southwest of Britain, into Devonshire, on the south coast. It's a very, very beautiful coastline and a beautiful, clear ocean, the Atlantic. And the swallows have arrived, and spring's in full swing, but it appears we've got a bit of an easterly wind going on this week, so it's a little bit chilly. But I'm blessed to see the stars. More stars than I've seen for a good while, actually. Not much light pollution down here, so the sea, the sky, the stars, the hills and the cliffs. Very pretty. Thought I'd share a story with you this evening. It's a story that I've never told before. I read it quite a while ago, and it just came to mind, and I thought I'd share this one with you. And it's not my usual it's not my usual story, to be honest with you. But I'm going to take you to the round table of Arthur, the once great king of Britain, or Breton. The knights, they were around the table. There was people in the hall. There was much frivolity, much ale, much laughter, much food, and much joy, all shared on a beautiful evening. And Arthur, at the head of the table, he was a good king, but quite a demanding king when he'd had a few. And he demanded, he said, "Well, I shall not eat, nor shall I drink any more until I see a marvel." And it was a windy night, such it is this evening, and the wind was howling outside, and the hall, it fell silent, for people were thinking to what to bring to this great king. And all of a sudden, the doors burst open, and then strode this most beautiful, beautiful green horse, as green as the spring grass. And atop was his magnificent green knight. In one hand, a giant sharpened axe, and in the other, a sprig of fresh holly. Of course, the hall fell silent even more. It was quieter and quieter still. "Who would like to play a game with me?" said the green knight. "Who would like to play a game?" The court was silent. You could hear a pin drop. Said, "The game, it's not your usual game. But if any man here, or woman, can come and take this axe from me and strike me a blow, then they will win. But they will only win for a year and a day. For after a year and a day, they must return to my green chapel, and they must await a blow from me with this axe that I hold in my hand." The axe glistened with the candlelight. Now Gawain, he was a strong lad, a kind lad, a beautiful lad, a willful lad. He stood first. I said, "I will play this game with you, Green Knight." So the Green Knight got down from his green horse and stood in the centre of the hall. awaiting Gawain. Gawain, as quick as a flash, just took the axe and struck a blow and chopped the Green Knight's head clean off, and the head rolled and rolled and rolled down the hall towards the fireplace. Gawain, being very satisfied, he strode back to his seat and sat down, and when he turned round, and what he noticed was the body. The body was still standing firm and still standing tall, although without a head. The courtyard, it gasped. Everybody gasped. Everyone was quite shocked at what they saw. And the body, it started to walk, and it walked towards the head, towards the fireplace. It reached down and picked the head up by its hair and turned the head towards Gawain. And its eyes opened. It said, "I will see you in a year and a day, young laddie. I'll be awaiting, sharpening my axe for you at my green chapel. Come with the head in his hand by the hair of the body, took astride the horse and rode out through the great doors. Now the hall was disarray. They were just like, what was that? And Gawain, he said, "Well, I will give my word, but in order for me to fulfill it, I feel I must leave this court, I must leave this hall, and go out on my own and seek myself within myself." Now all the other knights, they offered him lessons, training, skills, but Gawain, he was like, "No, I've got to go and do this for myself." So away he went, with his horse, with his armour, and his wee bag, and he went into the woods, where the wolves were, the wild people of Wales. And he just walked through the woods, rode through the fields, and lived out aside, away from people, sleeping in his cold, cold armour each evening, and then seeking food by fire, gain a bit of warmth, and also going in on his own. And he did this for a whole year. It was cold. It was a cold, cold evening. He's walking through the forest, cold and hungry and tired and worn for every night. Every night he had thought of the Green Knight, and every night he knew he was a day closer to his death. And this followed Gawain throughout the whole year and a day. So through the forest he was. He saw a light, just far, far in the distance. He thought, "Oh, I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'm cold, my horse is worn. I've put 3 days left. What shall I do? What shall I do? I'll go." He goes to the house and he knocks on the door, and there before him is his great, great man. Big, big, big man with a big long beard and black, black, long, curly hair. "What is it, lad? What do you want at my door at this time of the evening? It is cold and it is wet. Come in. Come in and tell me your tale." He put the horse in the stables, and Gawain came in and he sat by the fire and he recounted the tale that I've told you. What the Green Knight and the hall and the head and the year and the day and the accepting a blow, which possibly, more than likely, would be fatal. She says, well, lad, you can stay here for the 3 days remaining, but you must make me a promise. And Gawian was like, well, I'm so grateful you can take me in and feed me for my last times upon this earth, this beautiful, beautiful earth that we live upon. Says, well, the deal is, when I go out hunting tomorrow, whatever I catch, I will share with you, and whatever you gain from my home, you must share with me. So the next morning, he goes out a hunting. Gawain, he helps in the stables. He fixes a few things. He helps tidy. He's a courteous guest. And the wife, she pulls him over. She said, Gawain, here is such a good help. Thank you so much for doing all these things. But I wish to offer you something. And Gawain was, my lady, I can't accept anything. She said, no, I've got this gold for you. I've got these gold bars I can give you. I can give you to, and you can leave the country. You can sail to distant shores and forever be a rich, powerful man. So, my lady, I cannot accept this gift. For I'm to go to my grave, and what use is a bar of gold to a dead man? So the man came back from hunt, and he had a couple of rabbits. And true to his word, he shared the rabbits. Gawain and Gawain was grateful and showed great gratitude towards him, and great courtesy, because he was an honourable guest. And sure enough, the sun went down and then rose again, and the man, he went out hunting again. And Gawain again helped, fixing gutters, clearing a chimney, fixing a wall, just showing gratitude and courtesy towards his hosts. And again, the wife, she came to him and said, Gawain, I have these jewels. These jewels will be revered in the countries of the East. If you take them and you go there, you become a very powerful man, and a very rich man, and a revered man. I'm going, his lady, I am due to die. These are no use to me. They're no use to a dead man. So lady put them away, and true enough, the man came back from his hunt, and he'd found a deer. And he brought it down and brought it into the house and shared the deer. Gawain and Gawain again showed his courtesy and his gratitude. And they sat and they drank and they exchanged kind words, had stories, and laughter. The next day, sure enough, the sun did rise, and the man, he went out hunting again. And Gawain again helped around the house, helped with the vegetable patch, helped with the garden, helped trim a few trees, and helped with the grass. And the lady, the wife, she came to him, Gawain. She said, Gawain, you refused the gold, which is honourable, and you've refused the jewels, which again is honourable. But I wish to give you this piece of silk. It's just a piece of silk. There's nothing to be worried about. I just wish to grant you this because to show my gratitude of how much you've helped around around our home. So Gawain was like, let's show him it's only a bit of silk. What harm could a bit of silk do? So he accepts the silk. He says, "Right, lady, I will take this as a memory. And as the axe will strike me, I will hold it and remember your kindness and your husband's kindness too, and your love." But sure enough, the man, he came back from hunt. He had a hair. And again, he shared the hair with Gawain. But the stories, they weren't the same. The laughter wasn't there. The night, it felt different. And sure enough, the sun rose, and Gawain thanked the lady and the man he had was also hunting again. And off he rode to find the Green Chapel. He rode and he rode and he thought, I'm nearly here. Actually, I can feel the green light. And sure enough, he turned a corner. But there wasn't a chapel. It was just a cave. Deep, deep cave. And from inside the cave, he could hear the sharpening of an axe. So Gawain, he tied up his horse and walked to the cave and shouted, "O Green Knight, I am here to receive my blow." And then he knelt before the cave, his neck sticking out. He struck the first blow and then stopped just at his neck. And then he swung for the second blow and then stopped again just before the back of his neck. And then the third blow, he swung high and brought it down, and it came down, but it just nicked the back of his neck. And Gawain felt the blood trickle and then land on the floor amongst the grass and the flowers. And with this, Gawain leapt to his feet, pulled his sword, and the green giant, he laughed. He laughed like stones coming in on a high tide on a stony pebbly beach. He said, "Put the sword away, boy. Put the sword away." And as Gawain put the sword away, a green mist appeared, and it just enveloped the man and swirled and swirled and swirled around him. And as the mist just dissipated, there was his host standing before him. He says, "Oh, Gawain, you're a good lad, you're a kind-hearted lad, but you love your life. And with that, I cannot argue. For the first blow, that is for being honest with the gold. And the second blow, that was for your honesty with the jewels. But the third blow, Gawain, the third blow was with the silk. I cut you with the silk. For that silk you did not share with me. And what you do not know is that silk, if you're wherever you carry that silk, you will never be struck down by any blow. not even from mine. And Gawain is, well, why did you come to our cause, and why did you lay down this gauntlet, and why did you play this game? And said, oh, I was sent by Morrigan, the Great Witch. The Great Witch wanted me to test Arthur's notes to see if the stories were true, to see if you were all true to your word and true to your souls. So on your way, laddie, on your way. But wear that silk. And don't wear that silk with pride. Just wear it with knowing, Gawain, for what you've just done. So Gawain, he went back to the Great Hall. And there was no celebration. There was no drinks, there was no frivolity. For Gawain, he come back humble. For he had gone against his word and the word of his host. And from that day, Gawain, he became stronger. And it is said that while the sun was in the sky, he had the strength of 3 men. But it's also said in the evening, he had the strength of a young child, and he was vulnerable. And Gawain became the greatest knight at the table. And it wasn't because of his strength and his power. It wasn't for his wit and his guile. And it wasn't for his kindness he became the greatest knight. It's because he lived with his shadow for a year. And a man that can live with his shadow for a year and overcome it, he became the greatest knight of all. And his name, Gawain, in the old Welsh language, it means hawk of May.